Lego Fortnite is an open-world sandbox game where you can collect resources, build whatever your mind can imagine, and try your best to survive the elements and a variety of creatures that are out to ruin your day. But before we get into all of that, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Blue Jay, and this series is going to be your survival guide on everything from the basics all the way to the end game. So what better place to start in Lego Fortnite than the beginning? Fortnite has made quite the name for itself, starting out in the battle royale genre, but they have since expanded their platform to include new experiences just like this. All you need to do is download Fortnite to your computer, console, or mobile device, and then scroll down to find the games by Epic and choose the brand new Lego Fortnite. From there, you're going to click this top button, which will allow you to either select or create a world. You can see here I've already got 2 worlds created. One of them is in survival that I did some testing on just to learn some of the mechanics for myself, and the second one here is a custom sandbox mode, which if you've played games like Minecraft before, this would be considered the creative mode. For this series, I'm going to create a new world, and we're going to save it right here in the first slot, and we're going to leave it on survival. Do not be confused by these images. This does not select the terrain that you're going to see in your world. This is merely an identifier so you can quickly see what world is what. It's exactly what it says it is. It's a cover image and nothing more. The next thing we have in the settings is the override world seed. If you leave this blank, it will generate a random world seed, but you can put one in if you like. I'm just going to type some random numbers. For the rest of this, I'm going to leave everything set to default, which in this case for survival, everything is set to on. And now there's nothing left to do but press start and be met by this create world screen. It is very important to note that once you create a world, you cannot change any of the settings. So again, unlike games like Minecraft, you cannot go in and change from survival to sandbox and vice versa. Once you lock this in, it is done. So now that we've covered all of the basics, let's get started with the Lego Fortnite Survival Guide. So the first thing that you're gonna notice when you pop into the world is this guy right here, Talk to Cuddle Team Leader. Now I had a different character who was my village guide during my first playthrough, so maybe this randomly generates depending on your seed, or maybe it's just completely random. I don't know, but you can talk to them and they will give you some basic tutorials, which is fantastic for an open world sandbox game like this. I'm not gonna take the time to read through all of this with you right now because I actually have already done it myself, but just know, if you're starting this out for the first time yourself, you're gonna want to talk to this person, whoever it might be. Basically, the thing that they tell you to do first is to gather resources, and if you've ever played a game like Minecraft before, you know the first thing you're gonna do is go punch a tree. But that's not necessarily the case here. If you try to punch this thing, it's not gonna work. Resources are scaled based on what tools you have at your disposal, so in the early game, there's a few ways you can get resources, one of which is to pick things up off of the ground. You can collect resources like granite and wood, or you can go find a small tree just like this, and you can punch the small tree, and that'll give you wood as well. You also want to keep in mind that you have hunger and health in this game, and very quickly in the game, you're going to experience low hunger. So as soon as you can find a food source like these raspberries, make sure to pick a few up and start munching down until your health bar is full and your hunger bar is full. The easiest resources to collect early game are raspberries or pumpkins. Save the cows for later. Our guide has told us that the sun is going to go down relatively soon, so this looks like a pretty good place to set up camp. The next thing we want to do is open our crafting menu, and this menu will expand as we progress throughout the game, but for now the only thing we can build is a campfire. When you select the campfire, you will see a grid appear, and you can place this campfire anywhere in the grid, and you can also rotate it, so if there are items that are directional, you can face them whichever way you want. I'm gonna put the campfire right here. The next thing that we're advised to do is to create a shelter of some sort, and we're given an option of some starter shacks. This is the simple shack. This is one really cool feature about Lego Fortnite, is that if you are an unexperienced builder in games like this, it gives you a template to follow for a pretty wide variety of structures. All you have to do is click to place wherever you want that structure to go, and then select the Start Build option. It will tell you what pieces you need to build. You can build them in any order you want, as long as you have the materials. Once you have one of the pieces selected, all you have to do is hover over the spot where it's supposed to go, and it will lock in place and auto-orient itself so it's facing the correct direction, and then just click to lock that change in. Then you can select the next piece and lock that one in place as well, and keep repeating these steps over and over until your build is fully complete. Look at that. Just in time, too, because it has gotten dark and it is raining. The next thing I want to build is a crafting bench, which will expand our options for things that we can craft. I don't want to put this outside, and here's why. If you try to place it out here, it's going to tell you that you cannot use this in the rain. But one really nice thing is if you end up breaking your crafting table or whatever else it is, you will get all of the exact resources back that you put into it, so you never have to worry about losing anything. So I'll place this under the shelter, and now we can use it anytime we want. There are a couple of crafting options that we have right out of the gate. First is the forest axe, and then the pickaxe. You also might notice that there's another option at the top for this tab, which contains torches. Both are very useful in the early game, but before I can get those, I need to gather up some more resources. As you go about your business punching trees and picking up rocks, don't forget, grab as much food as you possibly can. That hunger is going to go down quicker than you think, so just make sure you keep an eye on it. Once you have enough resources to craft tools, go ahead and grab an axe and a pickaxe and at least one round of torches. You can take a torch and hold it in your hand. You can throw torches so that they land on the ground and light up the area around it, or you can take that torch and put it in your offhand, and once it gets dark, you can carry it around with you and keep the area immediately surrounding lit while you mine for those resources. If you take it out of your hand, it's gonna get pretty dark pretty quick. And now that I've got an axe, I can take down any of these trees in this immediate area, including gigantic trees like this. That is one of the coolest things about this game. When you punch trees in Minecraft, they stay hovering in the air. When you break a tree like this, you get a gigantic log on the ground, which then you can actually push around and let it roll down the hill. Oh my word. I wonder what happens if you get run over by this thing. I'm not gonna try it. I'll leave that up to you. You know what? This is a brand new channel. Let's set a goal. If we get 100,000 subscribers by the 5th video, I will try this log experiment for myself. Spread the word. In addition to chopping down trees, we can now tackle the larger stones with our pickaxe to collect more granite. Just keep in mind as well that this is the early game, so the durability on these tools does not last very long. You're probably going to be creating a lot of early game tools. As you begin to collect more resources, it's also important to know that you can only carry so much. I've just collected my 30th raspberry, and if I try to collect another one, you're gonna see that that number does not go up, but it starts a new stack. So far, all of my findings have shown that every item except for tools stacks up to 30. That may change as we progress through the game, but so far, you either have one tool in an inventory slot or up to 30 of any kind of material in another slot. Another really interesting game mechanic in Lego Fortnite is the hot and cold meter below our player icon in the top left. If I venture out at night in the rain, you immediately see I am cold. If you stay cold for too long, you are going to start losing health. But as soon as you get into the vicinity of a campfire, your hot and cold meter is going to return back to the center. This is why torches are really great at night and in the rain, because they provide you with just the right amount of heat to keep you from getting cold, at least until we start exploring colder areas on the map. Another thing to note as well is your health bar will not auto-regenerate even if your hunger is completely full, so you have to eat until your health and your hunger are both full, and then you can stop stuffing your face and move on. The next thing I want to craft is a bed, and I think for now I'm just going to place it right next to our little shelter. There is a reason that I have placed this outside, and I will show you here momentarily, just as soon as that sun goes down. It is once again dark and cold and rainy, and I'm soaking wet and tired, so I'm gonna head back to my lovely little camp, only to discover that I can't sleep in the bed in the rain. Okay, let's move it indoors. That seems like a good spot. Now, I'm gonna sleep in this bed, and it's gonna do two things for me. First, it's gonna restore all of my health. Notice I'm just far enough away from the campfire to be cold, but that's fine. We've got our health back. The other thing that sleeping in this bed is gonna do is set my spawn point. So if I happen to die in this world, I will respawn right here. The one thing that this bed is not gonna do, you might already notice, it does not skip the night. Whether you want to or not, you're gonna live through the night every single day and I just don't think there's a way to change that. I'm gonna collect some more resources just so I can stockpile a bunch of stuff so that we can craft a bunch of stuff and eventually build a bunch of stuff. The cool thing about Lego Fortnite in comparison to some other open world sandbox games is that I don't have to replant any of the trees that I chopped down. Eventually more are just gonna pop up around here. So honestly, I don't have to venture too far from home, at least for a little while, until I get set up with some more gear. As you're mining resources, every once in a while, you're gonna uncover one of these guys, and they're incredibly annoying early on. It's a little spider. They're not too hard to take down, but they can catch you off guard sometimes. That is just one of many hostile creatures that you're gonna run into in this world, but hopefully we won't run into any more today. I certainly am not ready to face some of the things that are in this game. My inventory is starting to get full, which is a lovely thing because it means we have a lot of resources, but at some point I'm gonna run out of space. So the last thing I want to do in today's episode is create another workstation, and this one is called the lumber mill. Again, just like the crafting station and the bed, this has to be covered under a shelter in order to be used in the rain. And so what I can do with the lumber mill is take the logs that I've collected and turn them into planks or wooden rods. I can assign one of these recipes at a time to this lumber mill, and for now we're gonna go with planks. Then I can take this little plus sign at the top and click it 5 times to add 5 logs, and after about 30 seconds or so, it's gonna output 5 planks that I can use to craft a small chest. Except I need 6, not 5. Hold on. There we go. Now I have some storage that I can open up and deposit anything that I would like into this space. The small chest doesn't store very many items, so we're gonna have to carry some more stuff with us or craft some more chests at some point, but I think that's where we're gonna call it today. I cannot express how excited I am about this brand new open world sandbox game. I just love games like this and Minecraft and all of the creative things that we can do together. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, subscribe if you're new to the channel so you don't miss any more of the survival guide, and just a quick shameless plug for my other channel, go check out the Minecraft channel as well, linked in the description below. And hey, don't go anywhere, there's more survival guide on the way.